Namaskar. Welcome to the faculty and students of Guyana. I am Dr. Bharat Bhushan, Director Student Services, Indira Gandhi National Open University, and we are going to talk about management of personnels in open and distance learning institutions. As you may be knowing, the distance education system is new as compared to conventional education in the world itself. And in India also, we have been in the distance education system. First time the distance education program in the form of correspondence course education was started by the Delhi University by establishing a correspondence course institute in 1962. In fact, there was a need which was given a thought to it, that there was a strong need to have a distance education or correspondence education to fulfill the growing requirement of education, particularly in higher education system. In higher education, the number of institutions were less and demand was very high. To meet those growing demand, this Delhi University established a distance education correspondence course institute in that university, and it gained so good response from the number of institutions which opted for correspondence education. And seeing the success of Delhi University correspondence courses, many other universities came forward in the following years. And for your information, because India is a big country, and number of states, number of universities is also big, keeping in view the corresponding population in mind. So many universities came forward to establish correspondence course institutes in the respective universities. Following the Delhi University, there is in North India, Punjabi University Patiala established a correspondence course institute in their university, and then Andhra, Osmania, many other universities, state universities that started offering correspondence course institutes. Then in very first time in 1982, the first open university was established in the state of Andhra Pradesh in 1982. By the name Andhra Pradesh State Open University, which is now known as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. And then slowly the number of demand in these open and distance learning institutions was increased, and then a new era in the field of distance education was started with the establishment of Indira Gandhi National Open University in 1985. This university was established by the central government with a view that it will work as a university, and it will also discharge the responsibility of promotion, coordination and maintenance of the standards in distance higher education system of the country. And when this distance education took the memento with the establishment of IGNOU, then there were many institutions, many universities, not only in the state universities but many central universities which are established in various states. They came forward to establish their directorate or correspondence course institutes in the respective universities. This is one. And then there was another model of offering distance education was by the mono mode of the universities, which is known as state open universities. We know that in India we have a federal system, central government, state government, and in the same way the universities which were established by the central government, which had the jurisdiction all over the India, and then the universities and institutions which were established with the help of state legislatures, their universities were established in the name of state open universities, which had the jurisdiction within the states, respective states. So as on date, the promotional role in the form of the help which was extended by the Indira Gandhi National Open University by the way of establishing Distance Education Council, which had the major role of promotion, coordination and maintenance of standards in distance higher education system. So in promotional role, IGNOU played a very important role in establishing and spreading and also to familiarize the importance of distance education system in the country to the general public, the planners and administrators. And with the help of IGNOU and DEC, the memento was unforeseen, and today it is the fruit which has been given by the IGNOU to the citizens of our country, that we have more than 300 universities which are offering distance higher education in various areas, various disciplines and subjects, and they are 300 in number, and in out of these 300 there are around 18-19 mono universities, like state open universities, which are established in various states of India. Then in addition to state open universities and conventional and dual mode institutions in conventional universities, we have standalone institutions also, which are private standalone institutions which are offering distance education in various areas. Seeing the spread all over the India, these institutions, the number of the enrollment, if we see, and number of the program, if we see, they are very encouraging. Today, not less than 45 lakh students are enrolled and getting education in the form of distance education. And in this area, IGNOU is playing very important role. IGNOU itself is offering, catering 3.3 million students all over India, with the establishment of 56 regional centers in almost every state of the country. In some big states, we have more than two or three regional centers, and more than 3,000 study centers are helping to make the reach possible to every nook and corners of our country. And IGNOU is offering more than 300 programs from the level of certificate, diploma, advanced diploma, PG diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate and research degree program in various disciplines from humanities, social sciences, sciences, management, education and other allied disciplines. So with this, when we say that IGNOU, with such a wide spectrum, with such a wide network, and which is offering program not only in India but across the borders also, that we have our around 20-25 study centers in Middle East Asian countries also, and number of programs, number of centers and number of reach is increasing day by day, keeping in view the growing needs and the requirement in particular areas or in the subject disciplines. With this spread of IGNOU in the form of providing distance education to make our reach up to every nook and corners, the management of system becomes very unique. When we see from the point of view of management of personnel in ODL institutions, because to cater 3.3 million students, managing them, it needs a huge number of human resources which are trained to run such a big institutions. On the very same topic we are going to talk today, and I am going to share at least around 10 slides which I have prepared for your reference, for your use, which I am going to share with you. This about the management of personnel in ODL institutions, which may be useful for our future understanding about the system and our discussions. This is first slide of my presentation, that In distance education or open and distance learning institutions, we have three major areas which are operational and on which we can say that three pillars of distance education or ODL institutions depends on which. Number one is academic culture, number second is bureaucratic culture in the institutions, and then industrial culture. Academic culture means that academia of the institution, which is comprised of teachers and academics, which develop and transact the programs. Then we have bureaucratic culture in the system, which says that we to run our administrative institutions, we need our administrative support, administrative personnel to discharge particular responsibilities. Then third is industrial culture. Industrial culture, we say from the point of view that when we offer or think of any program, we need to develop our course material in such a way that it should not take more time, and then after developing it, it has to be distributed to the addresses of the students. So all these things, when we make these things in practice, it gave a feeling that system has also a industrial culture, because everything is time bound. Once the academic activities, academic nature of activity is completed, then this bureaucratic culture, environment came into picture, and they decide that how the study material will be distributed, and how it will be printed, how it will be reached to the learners. Then this industrial nature, because the time bound activities are there, then these things, our study materials are distributed to our learners. That is why these three pillars are very important for any ODL institutions. Even in conventional mode also it is same, but in conventional mode we are not supposed to distribute our course material, because they are available in the respective libraries of the institutions, and students used to come to the institution, and but in our case in ODL institutions, the study material, the education is made available at their residences or at their own places. Then when we say that these personnels are how important and what are those activities which they perform, I have developed a slide in which you see that there is a type of personnel and what task they are supposed to do in their respective areas. Like in type of personnel, we have the very important pillar to run the distance education is teachers, which is also known as faculty, and it is appointed or recruited based on the disciplines, that how many disciplines the programs are being on offer, they are appointed. And then we have institutional designers, like we administrators, authorities, that in what way institution will be running. Then we have the media experts. For distance education has this media plays a very important role in transacting the distance education. So media experts also required to transact distance education system. Then we have academic staff. In addition to teachers, institutional designers, and then media experts, the another category of staff is academic nature. Those who are involved to discharge the distance education at the level of regional centers and at study centers. The specific areas or responsibilities which the teachers are assigned in ODL system, the teachers they have a very specific role, like other institutional designers and media experts. Like the teachers, they design curriculum, and the development of course material is the main responsibility of the faculty and teachers in their respective areas and disciplines. Then institutional designers are they are the personnel who specify the institutional system, the assessment and evaluation strategies of the institutions. Likewise, the media experts they decide the media mix and the strategies for integration of the course material with the media. You know, the in distance education, because students and teachers are not in face-to-face mode, and when the education or the teaching learning process is taking place, at that time in conventional mode, so sometimes we give some illustrations, some examples we can give, but in distance education, with the help of these media experts, they decide after going to the text that what type of media, video, audio, illustrations can be used, statistics can be used, and in the form of graphs, diagrams, so that students can, learners can grasp the system easily. Likewise, then academic staff, we have another category. They provide support services to the students at the study centers, regional centers, and in some areas at the headquarters also for all academic programs. They also help in planning the academic programs and its management, and you know, when students get the admission in their respective areas, the academics at regional centers and study centers, they also give a orientation to our learners with the in the form of face-to-face mode, or nowadays it is also done in very effective way with the help of modern information and communication technologies online. This is another slide which will describe about that what are those activities which professional staff are supposed to do. You know, in distance education, we know it is a very unique and little bit different as far as teaching learning strategy is concerned from the conventional mode. In this way, the professional staffs perform the duties of editing, graphic designers, media producers, cameramen, computer professionals, engineers and technicians. These copy editors, they are supposed to do production of learning packages. Then graphic designers, they have the responsibility of preparation of charts, illustrations and graphics. Cameramen are supposed to perform the production of audios, videos, tapes, guiding, audio, video and teleconferences, which I said in my previous slide that teaching learning is taking place very effectively with the help of these activities, the slide which I am sharing now. It adds the effectiveness in the teaching and learning process if they are done in the right way. Then computer professionals we need to maintenance of the computers and conferences and support divisions. Engineers are required to maintain those equipment which are required to be at the studios. Like now I am sitting in a studio and I am talking to you. These videos, audios, all support is very necessary for effective teaching learning. Then we have another slide, it is on academics. Distance education mainly dependent on the quality course materials, and in this we say that instructional system design, which includes that when we thought about the developing the instructional material, there are certain theories that how we can go ahead, what type of study material and how it should be developed. So there are distance education theories. In distance education theories, if we see in the past that the thinkers in distance education, the beginners who wanted to bring distance education as a system also, as a discipline, lot of work has been done in this area to bring distance education as a discipline also in 1980s by Sparks and Holmberg. But still thinking is going on, and I think one day distance education will also be emerged as a discipline when a research, curriculum design, all the activities will take place in its full-fledged mode like many other disciplines. Distance learning style and practices, they are also very unique to distance education. When we say that adult education theories, in distance education, as far as the education pedagogy is concerned, distance education, we have our learners are adult as compared to conventional system. In conventional system, we have younger students, but we have variety of students including adults. The majority of students are adults. So what type of thinking should be given that adults learning also take place very effectively, because there are different two areas when imparting education to youngers and then adults. Then we say that communication skills. In academics, communication skills is also very important, but in distance education, communication skill plays very important role because students and teachers are not in face-to-face mode. They are away in the place and at a distance. So the communication or language which is used in the course material, the learning material which we are providing to our learner, it should be simple and very easy to understand. Then presentation techniques. Presentation techniques means how the text is presented, so it can easily be grasped by the learners. Then self-instructional material development. This is the, as I said in the beginning, that this is the basic stage for distance learners, and self-learning material, as it's it explained in itself that it is a self-instructional material. It is developed in such a way that the learner, when he going through the text, he should feel that there is a inbuilt teacher in the text, and that is why it become a self-instructional. Wherever some question, some doubt, some examples are required, they are given at regular intervals. Accordingly, that instructional design or interactive learning, the writing skills and editing skills, they all plays very important role in distance education. Then these slides talk about professionals and technologists who are very important for the system. Information and communication technologies and management skills, which includes knowledge of technologies and hardware. When we are co-opting the personnels for a system, we should have such personnels who know the technologies and the hardware. Knowledge of multimedia is very important in distance education. Software and its applications, computer and the networking, knowledge of accessing the technologies and educational software development. Then organizational and management personnel. This is an area where training and development plays a very important role. The personnels who are coming to impart distance education, they have personal trainings. They should know about how the distance education is being transacted. So this organization and controlling of the management information system training is required in this area. Then the team management training is required in this area. Training is also required in collaboration and networking, negotiating the skills, public relations, group working, strategic planning and skills, and project management skills. So with the help of training, all these in these areas, our personnels who run the distance education system can deliver effectively. Then in this slide, administrative and financial services, which is very important, the personnels who will be performing the administration, they should be given training that how administration is required to be done in the distance education system. They should have the knowledge of the support system, what type of support is required in distance education. Then policy making skills, they should have this, the training from time to time may be given to the personnel working in the ODL system about the budget making skills, because it may vary from the conventional system that in which areas budget has to be planned, and what type of skills are required. After that, all these things, then we should also do the cost analysis and activity costing skills. We should not go without analyzing. Always we should do whatever activity we are performing, always we should see into the cost analysis of the activities which are taking place in the system. So with these slides I complete my presentation, and I think you can go through it, you see it, and at later stage we can have discussions as and when they are planned by the organizers. Thank you very much.